Welcome to the third episode of Series 87, everyone. This month we have returning guest James D'Amato to learn about the game he is co-designing with another previous guest, Drew Merzieski, called Cosmic Century Knights, a retro anime and JRPG-inspired fantasy role-playing game. In today's episode, we finish our characters and figure out what sort of miracles our swords are capable of. But before we get to that, we do have some calls to action coming up after the show. Here's what to expect. Join us here after the show to learn about our panel at GameHole Con coming up on Friday, October 17th, as well as information about our Patreon, how to leave a review for the show, and our patron thank yous as usual. With all of that out of the way, enjoy the show, everyone.
Appearance of the Blade and Lineage of the Blade remaining.
All right. 3 or 7. Here we go.
I know. I've got mine between 9 and 18. So
well, there's also the null options. Remember,
true.
Those
That's
are
true.
Possibilities. So between Appearance of the Blade and Lineage of the Blade, what is most compelling?
Let's do Lineage.
Lineage. All right.
Lineage? We could do Lineage, yep.
So one is Cursed Blade. This blade has a reputation for slaying every knight who ever wielded it.
Oh.
3 is Rented. You are leasing this blade from a rightful owner. You are allowed to command its blessings at their grace.
Wow.
7 is the Lover's Blade. This blade has played a part in many great love stories across the world and throughout history. Some sweet and some tragic. Many look at this blade with hope and yearning. Then 8 is the Sword of the Bandit King. This blade once belonged to a legendary king of thieves. There are those who would see the holder of this blade jailed, and others who would swear loyalty. 9 is an Order of Knights. This blade inducts you into a special order within the already exclusive ranks of Century Knights. It grants you privileges and responsibilities. Use the code section of Fell Knights to build this order's code, remembering that this is not necessarily the Order of Fell Knights. Then we've got 11. 11 was used. And then we've got 18 as our last one. And for 18, it is Death. This sword was once the instrument of personified death. It has been depicted at Death's side across the world and far into history. Is it free of death, or are you fated to become death?
Oh my god, that's so cool. I'm so jealous. But I never had an 18 at all, so I really wouldn't know.
That would be a super interesting lineage for a blade that desires defending things.
Sure.
Do I want a really cool looking blade, or do I want a blade that was wielded by the personification of death?
And there is a null option, which is Unclaimed Blade. That is, this makes your knight the first knight who has ever wielded this blade.
That's kind of cool in and of itself, though, right?
It is cool. The null options are like, they're not supposed to be boring. They're supposed to be like, well, I'm glad that I have that if nothing's really calling to me in this pool.
Yeah.
I am torn here because I have the 8, which is the Sword of the Bandit King, which I think says a lot about the space prince lineage that I have. It would like make me a prince of space thieves, which is interesting.
Yeah.
but with duty, honor, and justice. Like it feels like a very angsty story. Like I'm trying to get out from under the past of my bloodline.
Yeah.
Then it's a very particular story. And the other option there is Cursed Blade. And if, you know, we look at this as like my Star Wanderer, maybe the Century Blades were on my planet before they came to this one.
Mm-hmm.
If like the sword of the royal bloodline for my planet has killed every king who has ever wielded it, that's either like ceremonially like your child strikes you down, or just the good kings of the world have the worst luck and are inevitably going to be felled by their own blade.
Mm.
And there's something romantic about that. So I am going to select
like that
Cursed
one.
Blade.
Yeah, that's pretty nice.
My sword's desire is balance, and my options are rented or lover.
Ah.
I feel like lover makes more sense, but I also am like, I'm not sure that that's like
You could go unclaimed.
what I want to do.
That's true.
I kind
It's
of
just-
like the idea of like, because my birth is like evanescence. My desire is chaos. I love the idea of just being like, what's the point of getting my own sword? I'm not going to be around for long. Might as well just rent one.
Yeah, sure. You know, and maybe like that is like, you're like, I don't have long to live. You go to the knight who wields the lover's blade and you're like, look, I want to find love before I die.
True.
Just made the decision much more difficult.
I know. See, but then like that leaves me like only with a 3, and then can my sword still look cool?
You still have the null option, but the null option
That's
is
true.
perhaps a little bit more boring.
It is.
Mm-hmm.
All right, I'm going to pick the lover's blade. That's fine.
Yeah.
I'm
Really
dropping my 18 here. This is the blade that was wielded by the personification of death
I'm
in this
so
world at one point.
Jealous.
It's so
so-
cool.
I mean, the story is like coming together there too, especially because you were an orphan, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Yeah, that's awesome.
Were my parents the last
What is your desire?
beings that that death killed?
Perhaps death has
Maybe.
like another sword now too. It's there's a lot up in the air.
Ooh.
Okay. Well,
Okay. Now we come down to the appearance of the blade. It's a shorter list now.
Yeah.
For 3, we have practice. This blade looks like it was used to learn swordplay and therefore looks non-lethal. 8 is elemental. This blade holds an obvious visual connection to an element in shape, detail, or composition. And 9 is arcane. This blade is covered in runes, symbols, and is glowing. And of course, there is the null option for appearance, which is utilitarian. This is the most basic version of whatever you rolled for your blade.
all right. Well, I'm going to use my 3. It looks like a practice sword.
Yep. I am using my 9 here for arcane because that's very
makes
fitting
sense.
for
Yeah.
the blade of death.
Yeah. What else would it be? You know?
Right.
Well, I'm going to go over to the element chart.
Is light an element? Light is very important. So, like, feels like.
Yeah, the elements, since we got at them, I will list them off. We've got fire, earth, electricity, acid, ice, arcane, poison, profane, and holy.
Mm.
So I am going to roll a d10 here, and I got 8. 8 is profane.
Oh.
Ooh.
Nice.
No, it
Who
is a
are these
cursed
people?
sword. So yeah.
Yeah.
That's true.
All right. So we have our aspects, but there's, of course, another very critical aspect of character creation in this game, and that is getting the blessings for our blade. So
Mhm.
we now must each roll 3 D100s. Okay.
What is this? Mine all end in 6, which is
6.
oddly.
Well, you don't have the cursed blade. Well, no, you have the death one.
I know.
I
I just had the blade that was the personification of death. Cool.
Yeah, mine weirdly ended up being really clustered together. I rolled a 68, a 70, and a 74.
Oh, wow.
Mm.
Mine are all over the place. I've got 89, 48, and 27.
I got 6, 16, and 66.
Can you give that to me one more time, Ryan?
6, 16, 66. They all sound very distinct from one another,
Yeah.
so I don't know where the confusion was.
Yeah, that is a lot of sixes. All right, so we're going to start out with our Miraculous Blessing. We're going to have the most options for the most powerful and, in my opinion, interesting ability of our various swords. And I'll read them aloud. Your options for 6 are Prophecy. This is spend 6 and roll 3 dice of your choosing. You may choose to substitute the results of any roll you witness with a result from your prophecy. If you wish to substitute one of your results for a die roll of a different type, spend +1 effort for each category shift. For example, applying a 2 on a D4 to a D10 roll would cost 3 effort.
Mm.
Then we have 16. 16 is Spirit Beam. You spend 5 effort and make a 1d6 control roll to fire a beam out of your blade that does 1d20 damage per level.
Whoa.
Yeah, very, very powerful stuff. Then we jump up to 26.
27. Or unless you
27?
I have a 27.
Sorry.
I don't know.
27. Okay. 27, is Open the Gates. Every round you deal yourself damage equal to your level. Add 1d8 per level to the impact of everything you do. You can close your gates at any time you like, but it costs 8 effort.
Oof.
So opening the gates is free. Closing them costs something. And starting characters do not have 8 effort. So
No,
you would
I've
be able to
noticed that.
activate that and then pass out.
Great.
Do what you got to do, right?
Yeah.
Exactly. Really cool. That's the first time someone's rolled that one. I'm excited. Then we've got 48. Assuming I didn't hear another one wrong. 48 is Body Swap. Spend 10 effort and touch a living creature with your blade and instantly swap your mind into their body. Your blade will remain with your previous body, but it will only recognize you as its knight. You will possess all the abilities of your new form, including hit points, but retain your recovery die and effort pool. The only way to swap back is to activate this ability again in your new body.
Oh.
Then we've got 66. 66 is the Pristine Soul Blade. This blade can restore any soul to a pristine state. All foes slain by this blade will be absolved of any ill deeds or corruption committed in their lifetimes, with beings of pure evil being completely destroyed. If you have absolved or forgiven a person that day, all rolls for the next scene have upgraded impact. The wielder is immune to poison, arcane, and profane damage. You can spend 2 or more to grant immunity to profane damage with a touch of your blade. This ability costs +1 for every being currently protected. You can also spend 5 to roll your refresh die and restore hit points or effort to all beings currently protected by the blessing of your blade.
Wow.
That's Pristine Soul. Then we come up to 68, which is Divine Retribution. Spend 7. Touch a target with your blade and mark them for retribution for their sins. As long as they are marked, the victim will always receive half of the damage that they deal to others back to themselves.
Ooh.
This mark lasts until you release it. Your victim Until you release it, your victim bests you in combat or your victim dies. You can mark as many individuals as you have the effort to mark, but this effort cannot be recovered until the mark is released.
Wow.
Then we have 70 Sin Striker. Your blade radiates holy energy and adds moral wrath to your strikes. You wound enemies according to the sins they have committed in their time. You deal no damage to innocents, plus 1d4 or 1d4 damage to mildly flawed people, 1d6 to the average person, 1d8 to the morally lax, 1d12 to murderers and callous wealthy, and 1d20 to unspeakable monsters. Also, potentially 1d100 to true avatars of evil. These categories are a negotiation between you and your GM. Then 74 is the Riftmaster Blade. With a thought, open a small portal connecting 2 points in space within close range. These portals have a maximum radius equal to your restoration maximum in inches. You can spend 6 to open 2 portals with a radius equal to your restoration maximum in feet, and spend 2 to open a portal as a parry in response to another action within close range. Then finally, we have 89, and 89 is bide time. For every round in combat that you don't draw your weapon or attack, add +1 to a multiplier that starts at 1. Then spend 7 and multiply the impact of all your rolls by your multiplier until the end of the scene.
Oh, wow.
That one, of course, inspired by Hero from Starwall.
Uh-huh.
So a lot of options.
Like, costs a lot, but like body swap is so cool.
It is really cool.
But I can't use it at all right now. For quite a while.
I have to go with Pristine Soul Blade for the Blade of Death.
Sure,
Yeah.
That makes so much sense, too.
Like, the implications that death is absolving sins as it strikes down the people that are, pinned for death.
Yeah. Well, and like that is what the personified death does, which could be different.
Yeah.
Like, it's not like death in our world where we imagine everybody gets the Grim Reaper coming for them. There is this figure of death that roves around and absolves certain people as they pass on, or maybe even strikes them down too.
Mm-hmm. They would almost be celebrated then.
Yeah.
That's cool.
Do I want body swap or do I want open the gates?
Open the gates is a really cool one from Jump. And like that is definitely something to think about, is like you will be able to use your Miraculous Blessing right away. It's not hugely powerful at level 1. But I guess another way to think of it, and you're evanescent, so it might be, is your character the sort of person who leaves it all on the line? Because you are risking death every time you activate that ability until you have the power to stop it.
So I feel like it fits because I have like my personal desire of chaos, but I also have like the sword's desire of balance. And I feel like dealing myself damage to potentially hit harder too. Also, like I feel like it hits both of those things.
I think so too. I think that's great.
I think I'm going to go with that one.
Awesome. And I am going to go with 68, my Divine Retribution. And it was 48.
27. I went
27.
Yeah.
Goodness. For Open the Gates.
Back and forth between the two, but.
All right. This comes down to our major blessing on the blades. For 6, we have Grant Invisibility. Spend 5 effort and make any one thing that you touch with your blade invisible for 1 minute per level. Then 16 is Shrouding Blade. Spend 3 to fill a radius equal to twice your restoration maximum with magical darkness. You can spend 1 to see within this darkness. Spend 2 to grant any creature you touch with your blade the ability to see within this darkness. Your darkness may be pierced by other abilities that allow creatures to see in darkness if they can exceed your recovery maximum on an effect roll, or on an impact roll, excuse me. Right. And jumping up to 48, we have Suspend Time.
Mm-hmm.
Oh,
Spend 3. Target a single living creature and suspend them in time for a single round. When suspended, a creature cannot take actions or be directly interacted with in any way. This includes attempts to damage, heal, or move the creature. When the effect ends, they instantly resume their previous action. You can also spend 4 to use this move outside of your turn in initiative. Then we have 70. 70 is the Paper Cut Blade.
Ooh.
You can spend 4. Each attack with this blade does 10d4 damage, but you can only keep 1s.
oh, interesting.
You can spend 6 effort to keep 1s and 2s, or spend 7 to keep 1s through 3s.
Oh, that's really cool.
Then spending 8 to keep all damage.
I really like that. That's
very good.
Yeah, that
Fun.
is really, really neat. Then 74 is the Terra Shaper Blade. You can spend 4, and each spend grants you the ability to plunge this sword into the ground and change the type of ground you stand on. Dirt becomes rock becomes sand, mud becomes grass, etc. Some Minecraft powers for you. Then for 89, we have the Essence Blade of the Dog. Wielding this sword, you gain the features of a dog-human hybrid. Choose 3 of the following abilities. Others find you easy to love. Upgrade control and impact for social checks. You gain canine fangs, upgrading melee attacks. You gain a superhuman sense of smell and hearing. Upgrade control and impact for smelling and hearing checks. You gain enhanced speed, doubling your movement. You can summon extra endurance, spend a refresh slot to immediately add 1d8 to both your hit points and effort.
Do you have to? None of those ones say what you have to spend to do them.
Yes, those are passive.
Sounds like you just get them.
Oh,
Yeah. You get 3 of those following abilities.
okay. Interesting.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, it shouldn't surprise anyone. I gotta go for the Paper Cut Blade, which I
Yeah,
do
I mean,
I'm
you'd be a
going
fool
need
not to.
nerf that a little bit. I think it's just taking out the spend 8.
I gotta go with the Shrouding Blade and keep with my theme, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, the invisibility, I can think of all sorts of things to break the game with that, but Shrouding Blade is the themes matching my character so far, so I'm gonna go with that.
I'm gonna suspend time because I just like
Oh, that's so good.
I can't not.
Such a fitting ability for a person that doesn't have much time left.
Exactly.
Yeah. That's great. Well, and it's like, you've got that like true love's kiss stops time sort of thing. Like there's a lot thematically that fits really well with that. So once again, what number did you spend, Amelia?
48.
48. And Ryan, what was yours?
16?
Yeah, sometimes these sort of really line up thematically very coincidentally, and it's always very satisfying when that happens.
Mm-hmm.
Now we don't have choices for this one as we go to our minor blessing.
Mhm.
4/6, we've got the float blade. Spend 1, tapping this blade on an inanimate object no larger than double the wielder's size will cause the object to float a foot or so off the ground, making it easier to move.
Love it.
Mhm.
Then we have 74 is next. And that is, oh God, Math Caliber. While you are the knight for this blade, you can do complex mathematical equations within your head. You always know what time it is, and you always know your location if you can look at an accurate map.
Amazing.
I love that.
Yeah.
This is the one that Amelia needs for our Palladium episodes.
Yeah.
Good Lord. I think not even Math Caliber would be able to help.
I don't think so. No.
Math Caliber is no salvation.
Unless it can make me immune to blind rage, it's not going to help me.
84.
I love this one.
84 is the Hearth Blade.
Well, I have 89. Sorry.
Oh, I'm sorry.
89 is my last one.
89. Goodness gracious me. 89.
Which I'm
the Blade. This sword is nothing but blades. Spend 2 and remove 1 hit point to give yourself a cut and add 1d4 to your next attack.
Yeah.
That's
so
fun.
between this and Open the Gates, it's going to make it appear like I am not good at using a sword. Honestly, I continue to hurt myself repeatedly. Can do a fair amount of damage, but I hurt myself a lot in the process.
You're almost the definition of a melee range glass cannon.
Yeah. Yep. And I'm proud of it.
That's very good. Yeah, I've got the float blade there, so
yeah.
That'll be fun.
What does your sword do? More sword?
My sword does sword.
My sword is extremely sword, if I were to.
Yeah. If I had to describe it, I would say the swordiest sword.
Yeah. So now we have our characters, and the thing that I always do once everything's put together is like we talk about who these characters feel like they are. For me, I definitely feel like I was the prince of the planet that the Cosmic Blade used to be on before it left for this world. I think something terribly tragic happened to not just my father, the king, but the planet at large. And I think one of the antagonists groups is responsible for that. Whichever one we had. So as the world was like crumbling and as the Cosmic Blade was leaving for the next place, I maintained control of our ancestral Century Blade, and I got in some kind of ship to follow the Cosmic Blade. But clearly that ship does not have the power of the Cosmic Blade. So I lagged behind by like 300 years of this blade, and clearly came up out of like some sort of stasis or torpor on this strange new world when the blades have already been here for 300 years, and probably just as whatever threat tore my planet apart is arriving here to wreak havoc here. So the sword wants revenge. I am trying to do right by my kingdom, which no longer exists. And I've got this really cool kind of spacey thing where I just know all math, all very complex math. And I have the ability to like deal a lot of damage in degrees. I imagine I can like adjust the output of plasma on the blade.
Ooh, that's cool.
For that paper cut effect. Then divine retribution, I can like really hamper some great villain, but they have to be like my incredible focus. So yeah, that's kind of what it feels like my character is bringing to the table.
Nice.
I very much have this like live fast, die young kind of character going on. Like I've got, the desire for chaos, the evanescent background as an artist, like just kind of living life in the moment, no long-term plan. And then I have this blade that is like looking for balance and love and also has a tendency to hurt me almost as much as it hurts other people.
I mean, that feels very balancy, and perhaps
exactly,
it will wake you up inside.
Can't wake up. I really like how all of these choices came out. That I think
yours
so
feels so thematically consistent. It's wild.
Yeah, all randomly, and I love it.
And Ryan,
we have to find out what kind of animal you are still.
Yeah. So I was inspired by your discussion about cats and how there are domestic cats, and then there are slightly larger don't pet me cats. I believe I am the slightly larger don't pet me version of the Morks.
Yeah. Okay. So, and that I have to imagine those creatures more or less got hunted to extinction because they posed xenomorph level threats to the planet.
Yeah. Like they're pretty dangerous. But like they're still animal intelligence normally, right?
Yeah. And so personified death showed up?
Yes. I think what happened was like the last like remnants of this larger species, or one of the last, right, was under threat. And myself and my family stood up to the threat, and that inspired death, to the personification of death, to intervene after my parents died to that threat, leaving me an orphan. I was the last of my clan.
Yeah.
And death granted me the ability to speak and think as the people of this world, to defend the innocent and to defend nature and to defend those that don't have a voice.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I've got a question. Because you carry the blade of personified death, did personified death perish in this conflict? And like, you've now sort of taken up that legacy more or less? Or did that being go off and get another sword somewhere or something?
I want to say it was his last, like, I think he or she, it's
death. Who knows? We can't gender death. This being, I think was perishing. And I used the last bit of my effort to try to protect them, since I knew what they were trying to do. And once the conflict was over, the wounds were too much. Sure.
And that's where the transfer came.
Dang.
Transferring the ability for me to speak and giving me the sword.
And I love that, like, this planet used to have this kind of like mythical being that like righted wrongs and redeemed evil beings on their deathbeds for a long time. And then something so bad happened that being perished. And now they're like kind of still around, but they're only as strong as a Century Knight.
Yeah. It's really interesting.
Yeah.
That's awesome. Yeah. So I think like the only other things would be like appearances for our knights. I like the idea of having like kind of amethyst purple skin, and it's like the kind of alien that is low budget sci-fi, where like this is just a human, but we painted them purple, and let's give them,
Mhm.
why not, white hair. So
Yeah.
there's
But,
that.
like,
They're just
really
like this
shiny
incredibly
pants.
pretty anime. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. My character is actually around like 20, 25 years old, but very much looks like a middle-aged high school art teacher.
Whoa.
Nice.
Yeah.
So I'm trying to figure out how big my my Mork is. I think bear might be too big.
Yeah, I would advise you towards like leopard. I think that's a really
leopard feels right.
it's kind of like
between
smaller
leopard
than
and
people. I can't remember
fox
how much a leopard
size is my take on it.
Mm.
I like the thought of
leopards are like around 68 pounds. So
Okay, yeah, like the size of a large dog.
Yeah,
large dog sort of size for my character. They have the quintessential Mork skin of it's soft to the touch like a dolphin, but it's spiky if I want it to be. And
Are you also in pastel colors?
the interaction with death changed me physically as well.
Ooh.
So now I have a dark teal purple pearlescent oily skin.
Ooh, like an oil slick looking.
Kind of iridescent when you're looking at it at different angles.
I like that a lot.
Dope. That's really good.
All right. So those are our characters. Obviously, if we were playing the game, that there are other things that we go on to build, but we've got an exciting foundation here for sure.
Yeah. I think if we've got enough time next time for the discussion episode, I would love to, as part of our fanfic, do one antagonist if we could. I think that would be a lot of fun.
Definitely.
But we shall see.
Oh, these are such cool people. I love it. I love it.
I love the characters that come out of this game.
Yeah.
So much. I've got so much to say about it. So
I'm gonna have to,
I'll
think
save
about
that
a
for the
name
discussion side of things.
for next time too.
Yeah, names are hard.
Yeah, I got to come up with a name for an alien prince.
Yeah. And a good name for a middle school art teacher. Middle-aged.
Was that a name for a natural xenomorphic style predator that didn't really grow up with a regular name?
Yeah. Well, I think you can just mash a bunch of letters together and see what happens.
I know.
Yeah. You can sort of get away with it easy style.
Uh-huh.
Yeah.
I guess my name, I'm going to go with Mountain Glade is what my name translates to. I think that'll be good. I don't know if you guys have thoughts for your names right away.
Kind of thinking Wendy.
Wendy.
Mm-hmm.
Nice.
Oh, you know what? Her name is Wendy Chartreuse.
Very good.
Mm-hmm.
A lot of colorful imagery here.
Mm-hmm.
I'm going to go with Strago for mine.
Ooh.
Love it.
That's very good. Amazing.
Yeah. I have to think about a name for my blade. I think I need a little more time to.
Yeah. I think by the time we get around to the next one, we should have names for the blade, but this is very good.
Yes.
Yeah.
James, thank you for helping us make characters in Cosmic Century Nights. This was a blast. I love what we came up with just random numbers and it's amazing to me how well it came together considering it was just random rolls. It's so good.
Thank you so much for checking out this system. That is I don't typically play a lot of games or love a lot of games that do random rolls for their creation, because I like, the more free form story based style. So designing this process was very much trying to marry those concepts together.
Yeah.
And yeah, I do think it thematically a lot of the time works.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
It was a blast. We love rolling for things randomly. That's our
absolutely
bread and butter somehow. But we were more than pleased to do it. But I'm surprised at how coherent it all turned out.
Sure. Yeah, sure.
Do you want to remind people where they can find this game, where they can find you, all that kind of stuff?
Of course. So if you are looking for my work, you can always head over to oneshotpodcast.com to check out my podcasts. You can go to wherever books are sold, but hopefully your friendly local game store to check out the Ultimate RPG Guide series. And if you want to support Cosmic Century Nights, it should be at the time of this recording's release up on Kickstarter right now. Run. Don't wait. And don't think about whether or not you have the money in the bank right now, because you just need to have it by the time the project ends. So get that pledge in soon. And of course, while you do that, check out Homecoming and Chuck, which are also a part of that project. It's all good stuff, folks. All really, really good stuff. And that'll be running through the end of September, but I expect we will have some sort of late backer option.
Awesome.
Very nice.
We'll put links to
so
all of
excited
it
for this.
in our notes, like we always do.
Absolutely. Well, thank you again, James, and thank you to everybody for listening. Please join us on the next episodes for our discussion block. Call to action.
Yeah, like that.
I really love the sword powers in this game. They are fantastic. Some of them are like super open-ended to the point where you are supposed to be breaking the game with them, and they're open to interpretation, and I love that. We got some interesting abilities in this episode, and I am wanting to play these characters so badly, but alas, that is the curse of our show. I'm sure we could, but who has the time nowadays as an adult with family? So maybe sometime we can figure something out. I think that would be fun. But for now, we're just going to have to sit with them and marinate with them and prep ourselves for the fan fiction coming up in a couple of episodes. But before we let you go for the day, we do have some calls to action. First up, the Kickstarter for Cosmic Century Nights is funded at the time I'm recording this. It just funded like a minute ago. If you like what you are hearing in this series, definitely head on over to the link in our show notes and get your pledge in and join this successful Kickstarter and hopefully work towards any potential stretch goals that are out there. Next up, will you be attending GameHole Con coming up in October in Madison, Wisconsin? We certainly will be. In fact, we have a panel set up for that Friday night on October 17th at 8 p.m. Central U.S. time. We will be creating random characters using our custom C3 random table generation system from the many random TTRPGs that we own. This has the potential to really create some phenomenal people, and we'd love to add your creativity to the mix to figure out what it all means. It's a 2-hour event to give us enough time to create 4 characters and do a bit of world building in the process. We would love to see you there and meet you afterwards, and we might even have some goodies for everybody. Aside from that, we would love it if you checked out the C3 Patreon at patreon.com/charactercreationcast. We are so close to our $160 a month goal, which will let us hire someone to do monthly webpage updates to our site at charactercreationcast.com. This would let us add information to the pages dedicated to all of the games that we're covering on the show, including links to character sheets, links to the episodes, and more. If you are interested in helping out with this project and making a little bit of side money in the process, please reach out to us at contact.charactercreationcast.com. If you have experience with Squarespace hosting, that would be a huge bonus. In addition to all of that, as a thank you to our patrons, we will create a unique enamel pin for all of our campaign level backers. It looks like we'll be able to get a whole bunch of them to give to any future campaign level backers as well. And we are just about $1 away from that goal. It is very close. If we can get to $200 a month, Not only will that unlock yearly subscriptions for our supporters at a discount, it will also mean that we can afford to pay the new web admin a bit more every month to update the backlog of games on our site as well. This level is a little over 4 campaign level backers away. Joining at the campaign level means you get new stickers for every month that you are a patron, including one of every sticker that we have on hand. Right now, I believe that is a little over 25 stickers available. You'll also get a set of 3d6 C3 branded dice that are fantastic quality from ChessX. You'll get a personalized thank you card from the both of us, handcrafted by Amelia herself, as well as many other perks. This is all for a $10 a month donation, and it will go a long way towards helping provide that one-stop shop for any of the games that we cover on the show. We also have tiers at the $5 level, which does get you the dice, the thank you card, and our bonus episodes, as well as the $1 level that gets you various perks as well, like our occasional chit-chat episodes and bonus outtakes. So head on over to patreon.com/charactercreationcast to get all the info. In addition to that, we do like to thank our current patrons every episode. Your support truly helps out a great deal, so let's do that right now. Lieutenant DJG, aka Tigranosaurus, and Eric Ponce. We are so grateful to all of you. Thank you. Daryl Holiday II, Shadim Cabal, and the Shyest Barbarian. Thanks for helping us make this show. Benjamin Sweeney, Rob Fletcher, and Kevin Brown. We can't thank you all enough, but we will keep on trying. Tentacle Doc, John Adamus, and A3 Sketchpad. Thank you all so much. Carlos Salazar, Eric S., and Ian Potmayer, thanks for supporting our dreams. Liam G., Brian Coleman, Garden GM, you shouldn't have, but we're so glad you did. Thank you. Tanglefoot, Blue Kryptonite, and Danny, thank you all for your continued support. Nicole Trainer, Liam Murray, and Kenning, thank you all so much. Brian Kurtz, Marky Fair, and Drew Owen, we can't thank you enough, but we're going to keep on trying. Oz, Sean Metcalf, and Robert, thanks so very much. And finally, Kevin Bates, Deadly Edley, and Allison Cole, we are so happy to have you here with us. Thank you. And thank you to all of our future patrons. If you want to join this phenomenal group of individuals, please head on over to patreon.com/charactercreationcast to help us out. And with more assistance, we'll be able to make those website upgrades and afford making the show that much better. And if you want to join in the discussion with our hosts, some of our guests, and a bunch of fans, head on over to our Discord at discord.charactercreationcast.com. Finally, if you want to help us out in another way that doesn't require any money, you can leave a rating and review for our show on Apple Podcasts, Podchaser, or Podcast Addict. And we will read every new 5-star review as we get them and as we both have a chance to record together. That's all we have for today's episode. Join us here next week when we begin our discussion series for Cosmic Century Nights with James. Until then, take care, everyone. Stay safe, drink some water, and keep making those amazing people. We'll see you next time. Character Creation Cast is a production of the One Shot Podcast Network and can be found online at www.charactercreationcast.com. Head to the website to get more information on our hosts, this show, and even our press kit. Character Creation Cast can also be found on Twitter and Blue Sky at CreationCast, or on our Discord server at discord.charactercreationcast.com. I'm one of your hosts, Ryan Bolter, and I can be found on Twitter and Blue Sky at Lord Neptune or online at lordneptune.com. Our other host, Amelia Antrim, can be found on Twitter and Blue Sky at Ginger Reckoning. Music for this episode is used with a Creative Commons license or with permission from the podcast they originated from. Further information can be found within the show notes. Our main theme music is Hero Remix by Steve Combs and is used with a Creative Commons license. This podcast is owned by us under Creative Commons. This episode was edited by Ryan Bolter. Further information for the game systems used and today's guests can also be found in the show notes. If you'd like to support our show, find us on Patreon. Get access to bonus episodes, exclusive merch, and much more at patreon.com/charactercreationcast. Thanks for joining us. And remember, we find that the best part of any role-playing game is character creation. So go out there and create some amazing people. We'll see you next time.